Welcome back to the Militia Gaming community. I'm Trigger, and it's been a while since I've done a build video. So for this video, I've got two builds for you, and one of them cost $1 million. Let's go. All right, both of these builds were sent in by the same player. It's somebody that I've featured on this channel before. It's Watson OnlyFans. He makes some really good builds and he keeps sending them into my website. If you guys want to send your own builds in, you can go to militiagamingco.com, go to builds, scroll to the bottom, you'll see a form there that you can submit your own builds. Both of these builds are for the Ford GT. One is a short track build, the other is a well-balanced build, and I like the well-balanced build for one reason only, and that's that it actually is viable on all different tracks. So we'll get into that in just a moment. But the short track build is what's really interesting here because it actually costs more to build the short track version of this car. It's $1 million to build that car. The well-balanced build is at $880,000. So let's get into each of these builds. First, let's talk about the short track build. It is extremely fast. However, you can't really use it on anything other than short tracks. So if you're going for personal records, this is a great build for that. But if you're going to be doing this in online racing, I highly recommend the balanced build. So here's the short track build for you. We'll flash it on screen. As you can see, this build only gets to 164 miles per hour, but it does it super fast. It's a 2.50 to 60 with 849 horsepower, 751 foot-pounds of torque, 9.8 quarter mile, and a 2:02:03 on blue collar. And I'll be honest, I made a couple of mistakes, and I think that time can actually be dropped down to in the 2 range, sub 201 with automatic. I'm running automatic transmission, and if you know the game, you know that that's slower than manual, and there's a big advantage for manual players, at least a couple of seconds per track depending on the skill level. Anyways, that time 2:02:03 is actually good enough to be third on the short track leaderboard. I don't have it listed on there because my leaderboard is per build, and since that build is not even viable on any speed tracks, I can't really show it for a combined time. I can't really race it on any of the speed track races. It's just top speed is not fast enough. So that being said, it actually ranks number 4 on the short track with the well-rounded build. And let's move on to that build real quick. That build is insane. It really is. This is the build that I highly recommend. It is in the top 4 in both short track and speed track builds. So it's actually number 2 on my well-balanced leaderboard, which is crazy. I haven't had a car perform this well on both short track and speed track in a long time. This is a very, very balanced build. Let's go ahead and throw up the build real quick for you. This car has 190 miles per hour top speed. That's the biggest difference between these two builds. It's got 2.60 to 60, not that different from the other one. 786 horsepower, 703 torque. So that's really where the numbers are different between the short track and this well-rounded build. It's got a 10.1 quarter mile, again 0.3 of a second slower than the short track, and then it runs blue collar in a 2:02:73. Notice it's only about 0.7 of a second off of that short track build, but I do think I can run a faster time with that short track build. I just didn't have enough time to grind it for 20 attempts to try to get it closer to 2:01 or 2 flat. And then on Fishhook, which is my speed track test, it runs a 2:19.7, which again is a very good time. If you go back to my other tests, the F40 is second place and the Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR is number 1 for that speed track build, but this Ford GT is number 3 on that speed track list. It's very, very fast. So anyways, enjoy the builds, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video with the full run of blue collar running a 2:02:03 with that short track. It's a lot of fun and the car grips up really, really nicely. Enjoy.
All units, patrol is on the scene. We'll have this wrapped up soon. Someone who can race. Patrol here. We are ready to take this punk down.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to all the Heat 5 members of the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.